I think the concept of good and bad or good and evil is a very highly subjective topic, because good and evil is just a construct. It is a social construct, it is a universal construct, it is a spiritual construct. And what that means is that there is nothing such as an absolute good or an absolute bad. Anything could be good for one person and it could be bad for another. Now, keep in mind that during this whole video we'll be addressing good and evil when it comes to a single person. What that means is that it does not directly affect anyone but you, because when there are more than one person included, when there are several individuals included, many more factors should be taken into consideration than just what we're gonna be addressing in this video. But simply speaking, it is a social construct. It is not absolute, it is subjective. And all of that depends on how you perceive it. What do you think about whatever that you are doing? What do you think about any specific action that you are taking? Do you feel as if whatever you are going to do is going to affect you in a negative way? Is it going to affect you positively or negatively? Is it a bad thing? Do you have the feeling that this is a bad thing, that I'm doing a bad thing that's going to worsen my life, that's going to affect me negatively, that's going to cause misalignment, that's going to pull me further from my purpose or push me away from who I truly am, from my connection to source, to my true self, to my higher self? If you're going into something, no matter what it is, even if the majority of people think it is good, but you have this impression on it, it's going to be bad for you. It's going to turn out bad for you. It's going to come with a negative outcome. If you have a negative outlook towards something, it's going to have a negative outcome towards you. You're gonna cause a negative outcome out of it, even if the majority of people have experienced it and created a positive outcome out of it. It's going to turn out negative for you because you had this in your mind while you're addressing it, while you're going into it. Now, a nice example would be if you would think that if you have set so many boundaries, thinking that that's keeping you more and more aligned, more and more close to who you truly are. It's keeping you aligned with your higher self, with the universe, with your purpose. And for that purpose, you have set so many boundaries. Perhaps one of those boundaries is that you are very selective with who you hang out with. And that's generally a very good thing. Meaning that you think that some of your old friends are not aligned with who you are becoming, are not aligned with where you are getting to, with the place you are, with whom you're trying to be, with what you're trying to create into this life. And if you do not think that they are aligned, and then you choose to intellectually, logically, intentionally, consciously, you chose to let them go, and you're choosing to become, and at the same time you have not made new friends, you don't have other friends, and so you spend most of your time alone. Now, that should be a good thing. However, if you felt that being alone is too much to handle, now the more you set boundaries, that's something I've spoken about before, the more you set boundaries, the more you have to be mastering of the self. The more you have to practice mastering of the self, the more you have to have mastered yourself. And that's why if you're unable to be alone, if you feel so sad or so negative, or you have you always think of it as if you are lonely, that you have nothing to do, that your life is messed up, that why is everyone having fun and I can't have fun whenever you're alone. If you're thinking all of these things, it means that you're not ready to be alone. It's not a healthy boundary for you to set. However, if you figure out that this is who you are and you're not able to maintain such a boundary, and you choose to hang out again with those people, although you know that they're not aligned with whom you're becoming, with what you're trying to create, with the person you are currently versus who you were in the past, in which a phase that they were aligned with who you were, with who you are. Now, if they're not aligned, but then you also chose to hang out with them because you feel lonely, because you feel terrible, because you feel bored and there's nothing for you to do, you can't figure out anything, you can't feel good about spending time alone, and then you consciously choose to hang out with them. Now, if you hang out with your friends that you don't feel as if you are aligned with, and you're continuously thinking that I'm wasting my time, that this is bad for me, that this is causing my misalignment, that this is messing up my alignment with my higher self, with my true self, with source, with my purpose. If you're continuously thinking about it in this way, then it's going to turn out to be as such. Then it's going to be what you expect. In all of my videos, I repeat this. Your external reality is a reflection of who you are internally. Now, the more you feed a thought internally, the more it becomes you internally. The more you feed a thought, the more it imprints on your subconscious, the more it becomes the focus of your energy. And as such, your energy is focused into creating it into existence, into this 3D reality. And that's why, if you chose to look at it as a waste of time, as a bad thing for you, as something that's going to pull you away from what you're trying to create in life, then it's going to be to prove you as such, then it's going to prove you're right. There's a very nice metaphor or a very nice saying that goes as, God says yes to everything that you are. Whatever you are, meaning that whatever you feed for a long enough time, for a long period, and you continuously feed and believe in, that's who you are. And God says yes to all of this. So whatever you become, it is a yes, and it's going to show in more and more aspects of your life. The more it becomes you, the more it's going to imprint in your life, the more you're going to see its reflection in your external reality. And so now, if you're going out, choosing to hang out with them again because for whatever reason, because simply you were not able to feel good while you have set those boundaries, such boundaries, but you're choosing to look at it positively, meaning you're thinking that this is good for me, that this must hold, I've tried being alone, nothing has changed, I did not feel good about it. Then it means when I choose to do the opposite, when I choose to go back to hanging out with my friends, although they might not be as aligned as they were with who I am at this point, at this moment, it must hold it holds potential for change. There are more opportunities rather than when you were sitting alone, because you were not able to use the time alone healthily. Maybe you started developing negative habits, patterns that you felt bad about. See, now we're back to the main point. There's nothing such as negative or positive. It could all be positive, it could all be negative. For example, maybe you developed a habit of playing binge watching, binge playing games, binging on video games, or binging on or watching porn even, or masturbation, or drinking, getting intoxicated using external substances. Maybe you found yourself developing such and such habits. Now, most people would feel bad about developing such habits. Most people would not be able to maintain a positive outlook to such a trait or such a habit while they are carrying it out, while they are performing it, while they are practicing it. And to an extent, any high pleasure experience, although you might be able to maintain a positive outlook towards it, that you create a positive outcome from it, overindulgence in it, to a sense, is going to be controlling you if you maintain it for long periods and you're overindulging in high pleasure activities, high instant pleasure activities that are causing so much release of dopamine in your body in a not very healthy way. with time it takes control of you. With time you develop such addictive habits in a sense, and those are what you want to avoid, because then you are creating energetic cords, then you are giving away your energy. When this happens, when it maintains some level of control over you, then you are creating energetic cords, then you are giving away your energy to something that might not be what you want. And then whatever energy, if you're giving it the energy that it controls your happiness or sadness, or it controls your fear, stress, or relief and peace, then it will have control over this aspect over your life. For example, if you're coping with fear or with stress by taking external substance, that psychoactive substances, and you're considering it, you're really relying on it to give you peace, to give you a relief, to give you a peace of mind, and to pull you away from stress. It's your coping mechanism against stress or fear. Then it will have control over that aspect of your life. It could feed on your fear. It could cause your fear anytime. You won't be in control of whatever you fear or whatever you stress over. And as such, you're gonna find yourself stressing and fearing more than you normally would, more than necessary, over many more things, because now you're not in control of those aspects. And that's the thing you should be aware of whenever you are evaluating the good and the bad. Moving on, now, if you're able to hang out with your friends maintaining that positive outlook, then you are going to be able to create a positive outcome from it. Although it might not be the best thing, it might not be aligned with whom you are at this point. It is not absolute, and that's the beauty of it. It's a double-edged sword, but if you're able to use it in your favor, to your benefit, then it's a very beautiful thing, because now you could do anything and create a positive outcome out of it. Meaning, now, if you choose to think about it as an opportunity, maybe I'm gonna meet someone who's going to assist me, who's gonna who I'm gonna have a loving relationship with, and it's going to be the thing I'm looking for, or I'm gonna meet someone who's going to assist me with my purpose, or who's going to teach me something, because now I'm having more exposure and meaning more opportunity. Then this is going to show up, then this is going to prove you right, then God is going to say yes to this, and then it's going to become a positive experience. And that's why everything should be taken with a grain of salt. That's why there is nothing such as an absolute positive or an absolute negative or an absolute good or evil. And that's why you should master yourself more and more. That's why you should try to have a positive outlook towards more and more things, even if the majority of people would agree as if they are negative. Many things could be actually positive. Many things could be made into positive and good by just your mindset, through just your mentality. And that's why the major difference, the main difference between where you stand and where you want to be is just your mindset, is just who you are internally. Change that and you change everything. Change that and you change your external reality. And that's all I wanted to say for today. Thank you so much for tuning into another video by AF's Conscious Frequency. I hope that this video has provided you with some benefit and you learned some valuable lessons or clarified some points for you. If it did, don't forget to like, because it helps the video find its way to many more others who might actually need to use it. Thank you.